Hey, welcome everyone. This is Mike from zozostockwatch.com, and this is going to be your market talk and some stock watch for the 21st of August, Wednesday. So we'll go ahead and start out with some news on this video. So during the day, Gene, came in and started popping. News came out mentioning an article from NBC News as a reason for the move. Guidelines say more women need breast cancer gene test. So Gene, Gene, was popping up. That news came out towards the afternoon today at around 2:10 p.m. This news courtesy of the trade exchange built for traders by traders, the trade exchange. President Trump was making a lot of comments today. Trump commenting on China saying they want to make a deal on trade. Something will happen maybe soon, maybe later. Trump, U.S. very far from recession. Trump on tax cuts, saying not talking about doing anything, but they are looking at possible tax cuts all the time. Let's see. Trump also says someone had to take China on, whether it was good or bad for the U.S. in the short term. So a lot of Trump interviewed today and a lot of Trump tweets today. Very busy, but the market still managed to pull back today after being up, in the last 3 days. This was the first pullback lower for the first time in 3 days. So the Dow dropped 173 points. The transports were down 75 points. The S&P 500 minus 23, and the Nasdaq came in minus 54. The TLT was moving up, and as the TLT moves up, bond yields move down. Let's go back to the news here. Macy's was making new lows here, falling further today. Let's see. Tesla talk that Walmart is suing Tesla operations over the solar panel fires at approximately 7 stores. So that affecting Tesla a little bit today. Then after the market closed, we got MOGO. Mojo passes 900,000 members. MOGO. So that stock ticking up a little bit. Really no volume to mention here. Only 40,000 shares traded in it. Cree earnings per share beat by a penny. This coming out in the after hours on Cree. That stock sold off hard as the algos grabbed hold of it. They dropped it from 58 all the way down to 51, and now it's reversing a little bit here on Cree. The revenue beat, earnings beat there by a penny, while the Huawei ban and softness in the LED market will continue to impact the sector in the short term. Our long term remains unchanged. All right, so some comments there, but Cree did lower their guidance also, and so the sell-off, but bouncing back here a little bit in the after hours. Cree, Urban Outfitters, URBN, came out with earnings after the bell, and URBN earnings per share beat by 3 cents. Revenue missed there for Urban. Let's see, you can pause the video and read this on Urban if you'd like for brevity of the video. Let's see, Sedge, Solar Edge appoints Chief Operating Officer, SEDG. No real reaction to that in the after hours. Lazy Boy, earnings per share beat by 9 cents, but a revenue miss, LZB. So that stock popping and kind of hanging around 31.50, closed at 30.64 on that name. Let's see what other news do we get coming out. Toll Brothers, another home builder, coming out with earnings after the bell. They popped it up on the initial reaction here, and then it kind of bled off, faded off. Beat by 18 cents, and a revenue beat here from Toll Brothers. Fiscal 2019 deliveries were between 7,800 and 8,100 units, an average price between 860,000, 880,000. for the homes. Let's see, as a percentage of home sales revenues of approximately 10.4% for Toll Brothers. Some comments coming out. We had the API crude numbers coming out. We've been talking about that on the past few videos. So it was a drawdown of 3.5 billion for crude oil. So crude, not much reaction in the after hours, holding up okay, but not much movement to the upside. We did get some comments from some Fed speak after the bell tonight. GameStop has eliminated more than 120 corporate staff positions. GME, not much reaction there. And then HA downgraded to sell at Stifel on HA. That stock ticking down a little bit in the after hours on HA. Price target $20 for that stock. Let's go ahead and look at the SPY. As you can see, we still remain in this range, 290 area, 291 area below the 20 SMA, holding above that 282, holding above the 200 SMA. Market is in a waiting pattern, a consolidation pattern here. Yeah, we're coming back down to the 10 SMA. If these momentum moving averages start to break again, the 10 SMA is at 289. The 5 EMA is also, let's see, the 5 EMA is currently at 289.57. So if we start losing 289, we could be headed back for a retest of maybe that 150 SMA on the daily chart. So we'll see. But right now, we are trapped beneath the 50 and the 20 on the SPY. Let's go ahead and look at the IWM. The IWM battled at that 145 spot, bounced a little bit, still unable to get over the 200 SMA on the IWM. The IWC, the micro caps, not much of a bounce in those. SMH remains below the 20 SMA on the daily chart for the SMH. Let's go ahead and look at some of the sectors for the market here. So today we had jumping. Gold, JNUG was moving up today over 11%. Nougat also moving up today, up over 10% on the day. The VIX climbing a little bit. We have a 17 handle back on the VIX here. Still below 20 though on the VIX. Silver was getting some movement up today. A 1.65% move in silver. TLT, like we said, popping 1% on the day. TAN had a very nice day, up almost 1% on the day. TAN, the solar ETF. To the downside, we had OIH losing over 1.5% on the day. The IBB dropping and remains below the 200 SMA there on the IBB. The Qs themselves remain below the 20 SMA. So we had this brief bounce off of 180. We've popped up, but we still are below the 50 and the 20 SMA on the Qs. Some of your sectors for today. The XHB, the home builders, were moving up a little bit, about a little under 0.5%. And then to the downside, the banks were down again, down 1.33% on the day. The XLB, the materials sector, also moving down below the 10 SMA here on the XLB. The XBI, the smaller biotechs, also remains below the 200 SMA, the green moving average. You see here, we bounced off that 80 area, but still unable to get above the 200 SMA on the XBI. We did have some earnings come out this morning. Home Depot, they beat on earnings. So Home Depot had a very strong day right from the open. Actually, in the pre-market, they started moving this thing up and held strong. LOW was moving in sympathy on LOW. They have their earnings coming out tomorrow. KSS, they beat on their earnings, but then they had their conference call, and the market didn't like what they said. So here was the pop in KSS. process, and then it basically sold off for the rest of the day. J.C. Penney, the one of the directors came in and disclosed a 1 million share purchase on J.C. Penney, so that was popping up a little bit today. It popped in the open on the open here, kind of bled off here, got all the way up to 68 cents, came back down to about 61 cents on J.C. Penney. TJX came out with their earnings. They missed, but it did recover a little bit off of this 49.50. Their earnings came out this morning. As we mentioned, Macy's making new lows, new 52-week lows there for Macy's. Teva had a new EpiPen news today, so that stock jumping a little bit. Teva and BYND. JP Morgan came out with a outperform on BYND from JP Morgan. They raised the target price though from 189 from 188. So on the open it popped up, but then slowly gave back and faded off here. Beyond Meat is right now battling that 160 area and also this 10 SMA here on BYND. 158.08 is the 10 SMA for BYND. So here's our heat map from FinViz. So a lot different from the heat map yesterday where we had a sea of green. Today a sea of red fractionally, but the banks once again, Bank America down, Wells Fargo down, Citigroup down over 1%, PNC down almost 2% on the day, Microsoft down about almost 1%, Google dropping 1.41%, Facebook dropping 1.25%, Amazon down a little bit today. CRM, Salesforce was up green today, up over 1%. Qualcomm got a little bit of buying today, up almost 2% on the day. Some of the gamers up almost 2% on ATVI. EA was up 2% for the day. Medtronics had earnings today, and that stock was up almost 3% on the day for Medtronics. And then, as we mentioned, Lowe's was up 4%. Lowe's was up 3%. Home Depot was up over 4% on the day. Apple basically flat for the day. Apple will be spending up to $6 billion on new content for their streaming service for Apple. So that news came out today. Some of your stocks that were popping today, WORX, CMCM, Cheetah Mobile, they came out with earnings this morning. That stock was moving up. CETX, some folks actually got a trade in this today at Zozo StockWatch as it broke over $3 on CETX. So that stock popping today. IBIO was up today, but it had popped and it gave a lot of it away. We got a couple of trades in SOLY today over at the Omnovia trading room. SOLY popping today. ENDP, that should read no O, ENDP. This stock we traded twice at Zozo StockWatch, gave us a couple of nice trades. VVUS moving up today. AVYA, chatter around this name. We were watching this one for the break of 14. I don't believe it ever did break 14. And then VNet also moving up. To the downside, you had TBLT, Sarepta. We talked about the news on the video last night. ELAN, Nova, FCEL, and TLRD. SE came out with earnings today, so that stock dropped over almost 9% on the day for SE. Don't forget, you have Jerome Powell will be speaking Friday, the 23rd of August, towards the end of the week at 10 o'clock. That's the thing that everybody's watching from Jackson Hole. This information courtesy of the Trade Exchange. This is their calendar. If you click on the green here, you can see you get a drop-down menu of all the earnings for each and every day. So a nifty little calendar there. Speaking of earnings, this is Earnings Whisper. So after the bell, like I mentioned, you had Cree, Urban, Toll Brothers. Tomorrow we get Target, TGT, another the retailer there. Lowe's, LOW will be reporting. reporting. JMIA will also be reporting earnings after the before the bell on Wednesday. Children's Place will be reporting before the bell Wednesday. Splunk after the bell. Nordstrom, JWN, L Brands, LB symbol there. PSTG, Pure Storage will be reporting. We're leading us up into DKS, BJ's, or Hormel Foods, and then Salesforce, VMware, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then rounding it all up with Foot Locker on Friday. As far as your earnings conference calls for tomorrow, this courtesy of Earnings Cast, a nifty little site here. So you have Target at 8 o'clock. Children's Place will be on their conference call at 8 o'clock in the morning. Lazy Boy at 8:30. You get Lowe's at 9 o'clock. ADI will be reporting earnings tomorrow, conference call at 10 o'clock. Toll Brothers has their conference call tomorrow at 11 o'clock. So that's some of your morning conference calls, courtesy of Earnings Cast. We got a nice bounce in AMD. We alerted it in the room today at 30.50. So right here we said watch for the bounce of 30.50 on AMD. And here it is, right down to 30.50 on AMD. And it popped all the way up to over $31 a share on AMD. Each morning we do a pre-market prep. I come on the mic, first time on the mic, at 7 a.m. to about 8 a.m. Eastern time each day. Then I come back on the microphone at 8:45, and we start our day to looking for trades. We actually do early bird trades in the service at 7 a.m. for anything that's moving. We caught NBRV, over 280 today in the early hours. That was one of the trades that we did today. We also caught another one today. Let's see if I can pick it up here. Let's see. Yeah, TNXP was a stock that we traded in the early hours. TNXP over 60 cents. It went up to 75 cents for today. In the morning, I should say. So that was a couple of the early bird. Then after that, we were trading SOLY. Some folks caught this trade in Square. It wasn't a huge trade. It went over 64, 65, got up to there, and then it popped up to about $65 there on Square. ENDP, we traded this one over 295 for a nice pop. Then we traded it again over 305 for a nice move up. SOLY, we're in this one when it broke $12.80. It got up over 13 and change on that one. So overall, a very good day in the markets. We were watching MRNA, never did anything. JAGX was perking up. It never did anything. And then we also do swing trades at Zozo StockWatch. So we have the day trading in the Omnovia room, and then we have a private feed for swing trades at Zozo StockWatch. For 6 months, you could join the swing trade service for just $99. If you'd like to join our trading room, day trading room for 30 days, it's just $30. So if you would like to try it, look down below in the description box and you can see the sign up for $30 for 30 days. By the way, if these videos help you, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button. But please help us to grow. Hit the subscribe button. Let's go ahead and get into that watch list for tomorrow. Always watching AMD. Right now, that 30.50 area is an important area, so keep it on watch for tomorrow for bounces. We don't know how the market's going to open up for tomorrow, but we'll be watching AMD. Like I mentioned, ATVI was perking up a little bit today, up almost 2% on the day. So let's watch this Activision Blizzard, see if there's any kind of continuation. Has that 49.04 as the high, closed at 48.80, so maybe over 49.10 or so on ATVI. So keep that one on watch for tomorrow. Some of the gold stocks were popping a little bit today. Here's AUI. Now it's had a big run up. We pulled back to the 20 SMA. Now we're perking back up. If we can take out some of these highs here, either 350, or if you want to try it a little bit sooner, watch the high of 344. So for me personally, I would wait for the break of 350 on AUI. Could be a possible swing trade there. By the way, these videos are for educational purposes only. Any trades that you take are your trades? CETX, big volume came into this one today. We traded this one when it broke the $3 mark for a quick pop up to about 15 cents or so on CETX. So we'll have it on watch. I didn't really like this candle here, but we'll keep it on watch for tomorrow. CMCM, big pop, big volume in this name. Now maybe we definitely need maybe a red to green possible move in Cheetah Mobile for tomorrow. Don't want to go chasing it up here. So if we get some kind of pullback, we'll be watching it for a bounce. Electronic Arts was also getting some buying. ATVI looks a little bit better as far as the daily. This still has a little bit of work to do. Keep your eye on EA if they ever get it back over $95 on Electronic Arts. ENDP, this one might have another continuation day tomorrow. The 50 SMA got in the way today at 348. So keep it on watch. Big volume, big expanding volume on the name. Check the news. It had news. I just forget what the news was, but ENDP did have news this morning. GENE, I went over that news with you. This one popping up a little under 1 million shares. And after hours, though, it's holding up reasonably well. So we'll keep it on watch for tomorrow. IAG, another gold stock bouncing around that 200 SMA on IAG. If you want to try a little position in this gold stock, could be ready to turn back up. Keep it on watch. J.C. Penney, the director purchase there. So I'll have it on watch. Not in love with J.C. Penney, but we'll see. Leeds was jumping in the after hours. Definitely not one of my favorite stocks to trade intraday, but it was popping here in the after hours, but bled it back off here. So not so pretty. MGI on the daily chart. Holding up pretty well. MGI, we had this kind of push up. Now we're basing under that 350, 355 area, 1.1 million shares today. So it's getting, steady volume. Maybe a possible breakout on the chart of MGI. It's above all the moving averages. So keep it on watch. MTSL, this one was popping, but once again, very low volume on this one, 85,000 shares all day. So that's definitely a red flag for me. They popped it up, they pulled it back. So I doubt I'm going to be looking at that one tomorrow. We'll see. Neo, maybe trying to turn the corner here again, right? Neo trapped below the 20 SMA here. That is currently at $3.20 on Neo. So maybe if they can get it over 325, Neo might become interesting. I saw PEIX perking up a little bit today. One of these falling kind of wedge patterns here. Maybe trying to turn. If you like these under $1 name, keep an eye on it. Pins showed some good strength today. PINS, the market was down, but PINS was up 5 million shares, battling at that $35 area, 35 and change on pins. So this one will be on watch tomorrow. Let's see, where are we in the after hours? At around 34.36, right where it closed. So we'll have it on watch tomorrow. PVG, another metal gold stock type of stock, trying to get back above the 10 SMA here. So that one moving up. By the way, we mentioned VSLR to you folks on the video last night, and it made a nice move up today. SPWR was also climbing today, moving up on SPWR. So a couple of solar names also got some movement. Maybe keep an eye on SPWR for a further continuation move tomorrow. Let's see, SBGL is a gold play. It was heating up today, has that 550 number up ahead, another gold stock. RKDA, we had this big push up to $9. Now we've been down 3 days in a row, coming back down to the 10 SMA here, holding above $5 currently. So I'll have RKDA. Maybe dip buyers will show up, in this name, so that one will be on watch. SOLY will be on watch again. We kept smacking up against the 50 SMA today, 1375, just couldn't get through it. We closed at 1261, but if they can maybe get it back above, 1325 or so, SOLY might make a continuation move up. But just remember, you have that 50, 1375 in the way. TEVA was popping a little bit today. We'll see. I'm not in love with this, but it did get a lot of shares that came into the name on TEVA. Let's check Mylan out. Mylan, pop, but TEVA got more volume today, so TEVA. VTVT, there was an insider purchase on VTVT, trying to maybe turn the corner here. Has the 50 SMA and that $1.40 area up ahead, so keep it on watch. VTVT. WORX, strong close here on WORX. Finally, in after hours, it popped over 4 going into the close. Then it pulled back a little bit, but in the after hours, still holding above $4. Look at this expanding volume here on the chart. So a pop up to about the 50 SMA. So we have to have it on watch. I don't know if it'll do anything further tomorrow. Would like it to pull back a little bit, then maybe we can get an entry in it. WRX, so keep it on your watch. All right, this is Mike from zozostockwatch.com, and this is your stock watch list market talk for tomorrow. And hope you have a good day trading tomorrow. Like I said, if you'd like to try my trading service, it's $30 for your first month for 30 days. Down in the description box below, you'll see a link for all that. Have a great night, everybody, and have a good day trading tomorrow. This is Mike from zozostockwatch.com.